everybody, SonGoshuaku live to rank the 14 matches of WWE WrestleMania 41 from least to best. Now, let me make this very clear. There was not a bad match on this show, as I did think this was a good WrestleMania. And so, that being said, number 14 comes to Randy Orton versus Joe Hendry. Say his name and he appears. I believe this match could have gone longer. Okay, so, so Randy Orton, Joe Hendry. So, hey, big props to Joe Hendry coming on out here, getting, his big WrestleMania moment, getting that huge exposure for people that were just seeing Joe Hendry for the first time. They got to see millions of people, millions on Netflix and Peacock, were able to go ahead and see Joe Hendry live for the first time, see what this guy's all about. TNA got their world champion exposure, and it was not a squash match. Basically, it was a short match, but not a squash. Joe Hendry did get some offense in and showcase what he could do. Randy Orton, of course, went ahead and showed off his signature moves and everything. And honestly, this perhaps gave us the biggest viral moment of the entire event when Joe Hendry does his classic turn around, and then Randy Orton comes in with the RKO and bam, right out of frame. Like I said in my review, I was cracking up like 2 to 3 minutes non-stop. And also on top of that, it was the funniest thing I think I've seen on WWE programming since the whole Sami Zayn thing. When it was like Sami Zayn doing the Usi stuff with the bloodline from about like 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah, this was fantastic in terms of that. So this right here though, because I have to rank every match from least to best, like I said, I don't think this was a bad match, but unfortunately, when I compare it to everything else, I think everything else stood out more. And so this was more so about a moment. And as I've often done with some of these ranking matches, you'll notice, for those of you who watch my ranking content, hey, what is up, Steve-O? Thanks for joining the chat. It's cool to see you. I think it's the first time I've seen you on a live stream for me, so it's cool. My thing is, when you see this going on with these matches early on, something like, I was thinking of, what was it, the cash-ins. Often things that I would say is that it created a great moment, but not necessarily a great match. If I was ranking this based on WrestleMania 41 moments, this would be top of the list. But because it's matches, had to put this at the very bottom, but it did give us a really great viral moment, some good exposure for TNA, and looking back on it, having some time to process now, thinking about it, because when I did my review, I was like, man, you think they would definitely want to showcase the world champion in a much more longer back and forth match and everything. But yeah, I think Joe Hendry though will be good, especially if one day he joins the WWE. So overall, yeah, just got to put this one at the bottom though, compared to other matches. Steve-O in the chat says, I know I'm not always on, but I'm always proud of your work and will support when I can. Hey, I appreciate it, Steve-O. I always appreciate it. You one of the OGs that goes back to when I first started doing wrestling podcasting on my main channel, now transitioning over here to my SonGoshuaku wrestling channel. So yeah, always props, man. Steve-O's good guy, man. He really introduced some of us to some of our close wrestling friends out here and expanded. So awesome to have you. And yes, I agree, this was a squash match. It does classify as least for sure. Yeah, I had to put it at the bottom, unfortunately. All right, coming in at number 13, The New Day versus the War Raiders. So like I said in my ranking match, I am a fan of both The New Day and the War Raiders, and they can definitely put on good matches. But what this match really suffered from a lot was the lack of story buildup. Going back to January, as I mentioned, Triple H did a fantastic job of building up the SmackDown roster's tag team division. And as that was going on, you end up getting to the point where you see, you're like, oh, this is going to lead to a really good multi-man match. But unfortunately, it did not. We're going to get a TLC match tomorrow night, as of when I'm recording this, or actually live streaming this. So this one was like built up like 2 weeks, almost, I think, like 2 weeks. And one of the things about this match, is the New Day and the War Raiders, there wasn't much story here put into this match, and I think you really felt it in the crowd audience. The audience, they were very quiet through a lot of this. this, and hey, they were trying. Like that spot right there I used in the screenshot, that was an awesome spot. And I thought Kofi Kingston, you can see how wide-eyed he is. I thought his celebration when he won the title was fantastic. But yeah, this match, it was good, and I think I even said like it felt like a really good TV level match, but not a WrestleMania level match. But good nonetheless. However, I just didn't think it stood out compared to everything else on the show. I mean, at least this was longer than Joe Hendry and Randy Orton, so that's why I had to put this one at 13. I just would have, if you're gonna put this match at WrestleMania, I just wish they would have put a much more bigger story, and it would have been nice if they could have involved Big E, even if he wasn't gonna get physical. If he could have been back up for the War Raiders, just something to really capitalize off of the amazing heel turn that they did with the New Day. All right, before we move on to the next one in the chat, Steve says, Raw TV match, LOL. And he says, and yes, agreed, I love the New Day heel turn, but they just kind of stopped the excitement after they turned on Big E. Yeah, they really should have went full throttle with that. But I'm looking forward to see where the New Day goes now as a tag team and building up a newer, younger tag team to eventually dethrone them. So we're getting back on the right path, at least. All right, I'll take a little break of water here. All right, number 12, Logan Paul versus AJ Styles. Once again, I thought this was a good match. There was a lot of complaints that I've seen from everybody, or not everybody, but majority. The majority consensus on this match, from what I've heard in other reviews, is that this match is essentially was very slow paced. Hey, we got Papa Gino. What's up, Gino? Thanks for joining the chat. And that being said, as far as this match, the slow pace didn't really bother me because I was just blown away by the athleticism. I have constantly praised Logan Paul. Like I said, I don't follow him in real life and stuff. A lot of my friends are more known about what he does, like, you know, outside the WWE and everything. But when he gets in that ring, as a WWE fan, man, I am impressed. His athleticism was off the charts in this match. AJ Styles really good as all, and I even said I think this was one of AJ Styles' better WrestleMania matches because I was there at WrestleMania 33 with Shane McMahon, and I was absolutely loving his match with LA Knight last year. And I put this right here. Like, if you had to tell me pick the 3 best AJ style WrestleMania matches, I would put this one right in there with those 3. The ending with Karrion Kross was something in terms of how they involved him, and there was something that was brought to my attention by a good friend of mine, the man 0001, who attended this show live, and he was also on my other ranking video, that stream that I did yesterday. The thing about this one is that it does get very trope heavy, like Logan Paul tropes, where his matches are starting to follow the same formula. You know, his friend comes in with the brass knucks, and you know, he's got to try and find some way to get in there after he puts on this very competitive back and forth match. So they might have to find some way to start adding a little bit more variety, because at this point we all know, yes, Logan Paul is incredibly gifted for his level of experience at doing this, but they might have to start changing it up a little bit. But still, like I said, I actually enjoyed this match, and I probably enjoyed it more than most. But when I look at everything else on the card, I did have to put this in the lower half of it. But I did think the competitiveness of this was in the back and forth and the athleticism that I thought it was a little bit more for me to get enjoyment compared to the other 2 matches. All right, let's look and see what we got in the chat before we move to the next one. Steve-O says, good match, but not great. Knowing what both men are capable of, expected more. I can totally understand that. Let's see. Gino says, I like Logan, and yep, shouting out Steve-O there. Steve-O says the Cross storyline may have potential if he turns AJ heel and they align and win matches. Maybe a tag goal, it could work. Absolutely, yeah. The stuff that Cross is doing on social media and online, fantastic stuff that I think should absolutely be on his be on programming and everything, and they're not doing it, so hopefully. Cross, very talented. I was just seeing another video of him and Scarlett. They are a very charismatic couple, and I think you bring that into their characters instead of trying to portray them as like this spooky type couple, and you show they're just their charismaticness, their charisma as a couple. I think it would do huge business for both of them on WWE. So we'll see where that ends up going. All right, number 11, Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. One of the biggest advertised matches that was on this show. And where do I put it? It is going to be a little bit low on this list. But like I said, I didn't think there were any bad matches. I enjoyed this match. What this match felt like was, man, they felt like they were really laying it in. And if you look at Tiffany's face there, with, you know, I think something blood got on her teeth to the point people thought that her teeth were chipped. And she had a knot on her, a big bruise knot on her head. These girls were going at it. They were going ham on each other. So that really helped, I think, add a certain level of intensity to this match, just how hard they were really going at it and things like that. So I really enjoyed it from that aspect. And when I look at this match, you know, it's going to be really historically significant in terms of Tiffany Stratton. She got the big win, a big clean win on Charlotte Flair, which to me was one of the great things about Triple H's booking, because, you know, like I mentioned in my review, Rhea Ripley, she was at the same age that Tiffany is now, and they had her lose to Charlotte Flair, and then she had to rebuild herself back up 3 years later. And granted, I admit, Rhea Ripley became a much better character, a much better seasoned performer when she did come out the second time to take that title off of Charlotte Flair. But I'm glad that they're not doing this. Shout out to my boy Aaron Riff on NoDQ.com, who has a saying, you gotta strike when the iron is hot. And that's exactly what Triple H and his booking team did with this. They knew that fans are behind Tiffany Stratton, and they realized that, hey, we can use someone like Charlotte Flair's star power to help elevate Tiffany Stratton. And I think that's what really was awesome about this match. I did enjoy this match, had some of the better crowd heat in terms of fans really being behind Tiffany Stratton and booing Charlotte Flair. There was other parts that they were quiet for this match. So yeah, I think because of that, I gave this match a little bit higher than the first few matches we just talked about. However, this match I do think falls short of the glory compared to other Tiffany Stratton matches. Like, I really enjoyed her NXT matches with Becky Lynch more, and I thought Charlotte had a better match with Rhea Ripley at her previous WrestleMania. So I'm not gonna look at this as either of their best matches, but this match did what it needed to do, which is to legitimize Tiffany Stratton, giving her a 100% clean win over Charlotte Flair, which very few women in the WWE have done. I think only Nikki Cross, Carmella, I believe Rhea Ripley, Nia Jax. Yeah, very few women who have defeated Charlotte Flair clean. So that is a huge nod of approval on what the WWE sees in Tiffany Stratton. So like I said, I don't think it wasn't the greatest match, right? But it wasn't bad either. I thought it was a good, solid match. Let's check the chat here. Make sure I'm where is the yeah, Gino says top 10 incoming. Oh yes, indeed. Get your popcorn ready. Steve-O says, I honestly didn't think it was a bad match. I enjoyed it, but they do seem to legitimately hate each other. Yeah, it came across that way. And that's good that they were able to put their professionalism aside and work together. Like I said, I thought it added to the match for sure. You said, and apparently Nia Jax doesn't like Charlotte again either, if you heard the roast. Well, yeah, I've heard some of the leaked audio of Paul Heyman's roast. I've read the transcript for Nia Jax and everything. I would like to believe that everyone is just goofing around, and because they knew that cameras weren't on them, they can get more chillax, and hey, maybe they all like just ribbing each other like that behind the scenes, but it's all in good fun, you know, like having that friend where they can say F you for saying that, but you know they really don't mean it and all that stuff and everything like that. So yeah, hopefully that's what it was. All right, so we start kicking off with our top 10. Coming in at number 10, El Grande Americano versus Rey Fenix. So yeah, I thought coming from here, the in-ring action, I thought it was fantastic. You got a lot of great high flying in this, but I really felt like what really stood out in the match was obviously Chad Gable under the mask as El Grande Americano. Basically, man, he was hilarious. From the entrance to, I think, was it Alicia Taylor not getting the memo in terms of where he's from, but yeah, just the way he he worked the match. This is what just makes Chad Gable such an amazing performer. The fact that he can go out there and wrestle amazing like this, but yet work the entertainment aspect into the matches with the whole putting the metal plate into his mask. Thought that was absolutely hilarious. And I thought there was some clever stuff in here. I love when Rey Fenix is running across and he kicks, he kicked with such force that sent him from like one side of the ring to the other side of the ring. And I'm thinking like, oh, that was a nasty kick. And then he's selling his leg and I'm like, what's going on? And then they start pointing out, oh, it's the metal plate. I'm like, that's brilliant. Like, I love it when you can do some heel work that's like, you know, you cheated, but that's clever. That's actually clever. So that was pretty funny. And then of course in the end he's able to do the headbutt that knocks Rey Fenix out, and he goes off and does the flying headbutt with it, which honestly I gotta be honest, after the whole Chris Benoit situation and Dynamite Kid, I think they should actually ban the headbutt. And I mean, it didn't do Daniel Bryan any favors, I think, with the neck. So it's unfortunate to see that move still being used, and I just hope that Chad's able to keep it together, because it sounds like nothing good comes from doing that move. But I digress. Chad Gable, though, he landing with the headbutt with the metal plate in his mask. 1, 2, 3, picking up the win. I thought was good. Entertaining, this whole gimmick. El Grande Americano, funny. It is unfortunate that Rey Fenix lost his first match, as I'm assuming Rey Mysterio was supposed to lose. Thus, they're giving him a big win there. But it is what it is, and unfortunately, they don't put some of these people into high-profile wrestling matches 48 hours before the big show, just to not risk that. But yeah, this was once again, this was a good match. I enjoyed it, had a lot of fun with it, but I put it at number 10, as I don't think it stood out among the greatest matches on this card. All right, let's check what we got in the chat here. Let's see. Gino says top 10 in his debut. There we go. Yeah, absolutely. Number 9, Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. So this right here was a solid tag team match, but there was certainly a level of excitement, maybe just this being on the second night compared to the first night, that I felt a lot of these other matches that I just mentioned didn't quite have. They were pretty much in, I think the audience sounded like they were pretty much into this for the whole thing. So of course Bayley unfortunately got taken out, and that was apparently the long-term plan, and Becky Lynch comes back to a huge pop, and it's always great to see Becky Lynch come back, and then she comes in here and she wins the tag team titles with Lyra Valkyria. The match was, like I said, it was about as basic of a tag team match. Lyra mostly got worked over by the heels, and eventually she gets the hot tag in on Becky Lynch, and Becky Lynch scores the manhandle slam to Liv Morgan. 1, 2, 3. Lyra and Becky win. So huge moment, Becky getting another tag team title, but more, I think, importantly for establishing the future, Lyra Valkyria ended up being, at least for one night, Lyra 2 belts. So being the tag team and the Intercontinental Champion all on one night. So that was awesome, and as an in moment perspective, awesome. But ultimately, historically, this is not going to really mean much in the long term as far as a potential tag team for Becky and Lyra, because they killed it off the very next night on Monday Night Raw, and Liv and Raquel got the titles back, which I always figured was the original plan, was for Liv and Raquel to be the tag teams, because they're such a great team, and I don't think there's any built-up women yet right now in the tag team division. So I kind of figured it was going to go that. I always figured that Lyra and Becky would team up before they end up doing their split, so it's almost, why didn't they do that? Shout out to my boy SMP. He's been making a good point, though. Why introduce these mid-card titles and not utilize them? You could have had Becky, you could have had Chelsea and Lyra defending their mid-card titles with other women that you're trying to help elevate, and could have maybe put maybe Bayley and Becky together as a team and go in the tag team division. So I felt like there's other ways it could have been worked for this. But overall, like I said, even though it was a pretty basic tag team match, I thought it was exciting. It was fun, exciting tag match, and I thought I put it right here in the top 10. All right, let's see, next one. All right, coming in at number 8, Jay Uso versus the Ring General Gunta. Alrighty, so with this set in mind, excuse me one moment, because man, it is getting hot over here. All right, yeah, trying to go to all the sweat off of me. Excuse me for that. All right, so getting into in terms of this match here, Gunther and Jey Uso. I like this match. Once again, I didn't think it was among the greats of this card, but a good match nonetheless for the story that it told. I did think it was much better than Jimmy Uso versus Jey Uso. I like the storytelling part of that match, but obviously there's a lot of spamming kicks, super kicks back and forth, and it should have been, I thought, longer. In terms of Gunther, I didn't think this was his best outing at WrestleMania either. Definitely loved the match with Sammy last year, and then 2 years before that, loved the match that he put on with Drew and Sheamus. But this was a good match. It told a good story. I love about this match that Jey Uso was upping his wrestling repertoire. He was dishing out some of Gunther's wrestling moves to show that he can do more than the moves that people accuse him of only being able to do. And he was really bringing to Gunther, sort of like out wrestling the Ring General. And then, of course, in the end, when he starts hitting the super kicks and then he does the splashes to Gunther's front, to Gunther's backside, to Gunther's back, Gunther taps out. I loved it because, I thought it could have been executed a little bit better, but I still love the idea of the finish because Jey Uso making Gunther tap out, it is the ultimate way to stand up to the bully because, man, Gunther all this time talking about, you have simple gestures for simple people and, telling him, you can't do this, you're not that good, and Jey Uso basically out wrestled him and made him tap out. It is the ultimate humiliation for Gunther. The only thing I think could have made it better is if he would have beaten Gunther to a bloody pulp. I mean, you beat his brother to a bloody pulp, so give him that same treatment back. But nonetheless, I liked it. I thought it was good. The opener, it's another match kind of like the Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair. It's not going to go down as one of the greatest all-time matches, but it did what it needed to do and gave Jey Uso a huge moment, and that's why this match will always be remembered. As someone who followed Jey Uso since he debuted with Tamina and his brother Jimmy, I've seen these guys. Oh, hold on, chat says you're breaking up slightly periodically. Make sure the streams are going good. All right, I think we're good here. Okay, yeah, let me know in the chats. Thank you for letting me know that, Gino. Hopefully we're really good. Thank you. I really enjoy the production value. All right, I'm glad we're good back here. But yeah, as I was saying, Gunther and Jey Uso, or just Jey Uso in period, it's so good to see how far he has come. I'm just so glad to see him get to this point, win the world title. So much props, because he has worked his butt off with that bloodline storyline and where he is today. This was fantastic, and I think that's what's great about this moment. Now, one of the things about this match with the finish that I was going to mention is, and I believe Aaron Riff mentioned this on his review on No DQ, is that it felt like you missed the whole drama part by having Gunther tap out as quickly as he did. And I know he tapped out against Ilya Dragunov on the when they faced off in NXT, but to me, like I mentioned in my review, you should have a structure. You should have A, applying the submission, B, the drama of is he or is he not gonna tap out, and then C, the eventual tap out. So that way it's like, oh, he's got it on, is he gonna tap, is he gonna tap, is he gonna tap, and then he taps it, like, oh my gosh, here's like, he got the submission, oh, he tapped, yay, Jey Uso won. You didn't give us a chance to really let it sink in, and that's kind of like what we want to see. We want to let it sink in. So I thought they should have gone a little bit longer and milked that submission, so that way we could really build up the drama in this match. You think of some of the greatest all-time battles. Think of Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Bret Hart, which just got inducted as the first match into the WWE Hall of Fame. Think about if Bret Hart would have just put that submission, that sharpshooter on, and Stone Cold immediately passed out. and you never got that cool visual of Austin being defiant and like, basically with the blood running down, which became an iconic image of the Attitude Era, and probably the most famous photo of Stone Cold Steve Austin. Like, that really helped make Stone Cold, just that one image alone. And if you don't have that because you decided to have Austin just pass out our way, you don't get that. I did a ranking of the WrestleMania trilogies talking about Triple H and Undertaker in their WrestleMania 27 match. Taker locks in the Hell's Gate, and Triple H grabs the sledgehammer, and they milked it for a long time of Triple H trying to get that sledgehammer to Taker, but he's passing out, then he's got some life, then he's passing out, and eventually he ends up nearly just giving up and taps out before he ends up passing out anyways. And man, it's just the drama, and I think, yeah, that's what really, I think, would have put this match on a better pedestal, basically, for it. But yeah, I thought it was a good match. Gino in the chat says, did anyone really think Gunther was gonna tap to a sleeper? No, I didn't see that coming. I thought it was gonna be a pinfall, which I think made it even more shocking. So yeah, like I said, I don't mind him tapping out. I just wish they would have. Number 7, Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. The main event of night 2 and the main event of the entire weekend. The best way for me to describe this match, especially with the new information that The Rock gave us in terms of what went on with this. If you all are fans of Avatar and of course Mick Foley, you may remember there was a part where Mick Foley, or a character that Mick Foley portrayed, that made a parody of The Rock called the Boulder, and he has a very famous line, "The Boulder feels conflicted." And when it comes to me in this match, I feel conflicted as well. You see, what I really like about this match is what had to make me put it right here over those other matches. But then it's what I dislike about this match that made me couldn't put it any further than what it is. So it kind of falls right here in the middle. So in terms of what I like about this match, John Cena worked a more methodical style, obviously meaning to work slower. And I like that because it's so different than what we've seen out of John Cena before. Even when he's hitting like the 5 moves of dooms with the shoulder tackles and stuff like that, in the fireman carry and all that stuff and everything like that, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, okay, John Cena, he was intentionally slowing down and milking the crowd. And this match, I think more than anything, had the most heated. It felt big time. Fans were completely cheering, booing Cody, cheering Cena. Had a big fight feel through the whole match. And I thought that was fantastic. It was something that I wish more heat was on for a lot of the other matches when it came to this WrestleMania card. So I thought that was fantastic. And everything, and you had Cody making his comebacks, and John Cena, he actually was a lot more not getting just beat up for the most part like he did in a lot of his Roman Reigns matches, and the fact he probably was beating up Cody Rhodes maybe a little too much in this match. So I really like that aspect of this match. But the part that I dislike, and the reason why most people are not liking this match at all, is the finish. Travis Scott's music hits, and when Travis Scott comes down, he makes this long, slow walk down that long WrestleMania aisle and gives Cody plenty of time to recover. And of course, in the end, while Cody does end up taking Travis Scott out of it, that's where you got to see Cena, where he ended up doing he take the turnbuckle off. And that's another thing I want to shout out to Geekdom 101 on his World of Geekdom channel. He brought up a good point how he would have loved to see Cena work more of a heel style in the match in terms of poking the eyes, basically doing low blows when the referee wasn't looking, basically doing all that type of stuff. And when you get to the end of the match, and I was on the No DQ Review Live talking about how if you go back to that Kevin Owens match with Cody Rhodes during Saturday night's main event, when the referee wasn't looking, he took that steel chair and boom, he hit Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes hit Kevin Owens with that. Did not give a care. He was giving Kevin Owens a piece of his own medicine. And when you get to this match, it's the same scenario, but this time John Cena's using the chair is the championship. And unlike Kevin Owens, we can all agree John Cena did Cody Rhodes in the story far worse, or beating him up, bloody, jumping him with 3 other guys, basically him and as 3 guys jumping him with him, Travis Scott, and The Rock, and more about The Rock to come later. So when you get to that part of it, you're like, man, Cena, Cody Rhodes should go in here and want to rip these guys apart. And I think they even start the match off with a collar and elbow tie up, which when the feud is heated, you just need to come on out swinging. That's what you need to get doing, and they don't do that in this match. And of course, Cody Rhodes, he takes the moral high ground. He's like, even though you did all that to me, Cena, I can't hit you with the championship, so I'll throw the title and turn my back on you. And then Cena takes advantage, low blow, and it basically gets the attitude adjustment and wins 1, 2, 3, gets his 17th title reign, which I do think is the right outcome. But man, wow, what a disappointment in terms of the way this was executed. Cody Rhodes was the man that beat John Cena. He beat Roman Reigns. It took 4 years for someone to finally beat Roman Reigns. And I'm thinking you're going to have to throw everything at the table to beat this guy. Like, say what you want to about Undertaker when he lost the streak to Brock Lesnar. Yeah, I know Brock Lesnar was part-time, and yeah, I wasn't so much of a fan of, as I myself wanted to see Brock Lesnar at least compete once every pay-per-view at the time. But one of the things that WWE did do is they booked Brock Lesnar very strong up until Goldberg beat him, but then even after that, it was like, I think eventually Roman that finally beat him at SummerSlam 2018. So it was a long stretch before just about anybody beat Brock Lesnar, and then you had to go all the way to 2019 for Seth Rollins to kind of be that new fresh person that was coming up, finally defeating him, getting that clean win. And when you look at something like that, it's like, okay, yeah, they justified why Brock Lesnar ended the streak. He was going to be someone tough to beat. Same thing with Kevin Owens. He had this awesome match with Stone Cold Steve Austin in WrestleMania 38, and Kevin Owens was booked strong after that, showing that, yeah, you went toe-to-toe with one of the all-time greats, and even though you lost, we're going to make that mean something. Here, man, I just think Cena was like that. You have John Cena beat Cody Rhodes like that? Yeah, I thought they could have done more with that in terms of that. And then, of course, this whole feud, The Rock not showing up, and if you've all heard by now, The Rock went on Pat McAfee, and more stuff's come out about it. And honestly, I still stand what I was saying back on the No DQ review, is that if The Rock was not going to be a part of this, WWE should have said that. They should have had Cena go on the microphone and just simply say that, hey, you get nothing, and that means The Rock, or have The Rock send in some sort of video package with his phone or something, and just say that The Rock, the final boss's work is done here, and John Cena will take it. If you set that expectations for the fans, then hey, we're not thinking about, oh, is The Rock going to show up? Is Travis Scott going to show up? So that's another thing. You gave this match some unexpected. You distracted with The Rock. It distracted from what the focus should be, Cody and Cena, and I'm fine with that. Just say that The Rock's not going to be there. So I think WWE really poorly handled this whole situation in terms of teasing The Rock. They should have made it right off the bat. It distracted from this, but nonetheless, we did get the big moment. It's going to be a historic moment. We'll always remember it. You know, Undertaker and Brock Lesnar wasn't the best match at WrestleMania 30, but we always remember the streak ending. I don't think this is not going to go down as the best main event ever, obviously, but we're always going to remember John Cena winning his 17th world title reign. So I had to put it in the middle for that one. All right, in the chat, Gino says, I said in my review, Cena wrestled poorly on purpose to show fans that 5 moves of doom actually are entertaining. Good point. Yeah, I like Cena's performance. That's why I had to put it here, at least in the middle and everything. All right, as we near the top 6 here, this is where I can finally say we can end the yeah but portion of this ranking, because every single match that I just mentioned right now, previously before this one, it was kind of like, yeah, they did this cool here, but could have been longer. Yeah, this looked really awesome, but the finish could have been good. Yeah, this was a cool moment, but they kind of squandered making something not mean much the next night. So there was a lot of yeah, but as we go here, when it comes to the 6, Papa Gino in the chat says this match had butts though. So when it comes to the next 6 matches, this was clean from just beginning to end and the way it tells a story. So let's get it on here. Jade Cargill versus Naomi coming in at number 6. Love the story going into it. Absolutely did. And when it comes to the match, I am proud of what these ladies did. I thought Jade Cargill looked awesome with her power spots, catching Naomi in midair and turning it into a nice clean jackhammer, and then doing it again, turning it into a fallaway slam. And Naomi's just been awesome. Like I said, I've been a ride or die fan of Naomi since her NXT days. Been doing this for what, 15 years now? Fantastic. And the match that both these ladies put on was awesome. Like I thought it was good. Some people thought it was all right or it was okay, but given what we know about Jade Cargill's experience level, I thought the match was delivered. Both these ladies went out there and told a really good story. One of Jade Cargill's best matches in her career. Naomi really showing what she can actually do when it comes to this big featured match. Having this match, this is the first singles match without a gimmick tied to it for women in WrestleMania history. Like, this was great. I loved it. This was one of the matches I thought very highly of. One of the best matches I think on this whole WrestleMania card, obviously. So I can't say enough good things about this, and I'm certainly looking forward to where this feud goes once Bianca Belair gets added back to the mix. All right, so we start off our top 5. Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest. You know, a lot of people weren't excited about this match, but man, coming into it, I knew these guys were going to throw on a hard-hitting match, and they absolutely delivered. But first, in terms of the story build-up, these guys, I thought, did a great job making the most of the story, and it had tie-ins going back to where we left off at WrestleMania 40. So, yeah, hard-hitting, awesome stuff. Drew McIntyre doing the thing with his phone from his brother, when he did, like, that spot I showed right there in the screenshot when he prevented getting his head crushed in with the chair, doing the choke slam, the DDT, the future shock DDT onto the steel steps, Damian Priest going through the 2 tables. Yeah, this was hard hitting. These 2 guys absolutely just showing why they are 2 great heavyweight fighters in that squared circle. Like, I loved it. Their performance was awesome. I can't say enough good things. Like, I definitely think this is one of the best matches of WrestleMania, and it's not convoluted either. Very simple storytelling, very nice clean match from start to finish. So not enough good things. It was definitely very good, hard hitting match. And Drew McIntyre picking up the win, I think, is the right move as well. All right, we get to number 4. Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight. Yeah. So, man, this match right here was fantastic. Like I said in my review, I thought this was one of LA Knight's best matches in WWE, and I think this was this is Jacob Fatu's best match so far in WWE. So, yeah, these guys absolutely put on a really good match. Love the counters with LA Knight being able to turn into the BFT as his finisher when Jacob goes for the moonsault, and I think that's what made this match stand out, because we've seen Jacob Fatu just be like this running beast running back and forth, and LA Knight I thought looked really strong in this match, being able to counter Jacob Fatu so many times, but in the end Jacob gets the big win for the United States Championship. The right move, once again striking when the iron is hot. Triple H recognizing that Jacob Fatu is over with the audience, and hey, let's go ahead and pull the trigger now on this guy and pushing him strong to the moon and everything. I hope LA Knight does eventually get to that main event picture where he can get at least one world title win or something like that. Yeah, I thought these guys went out there and put on an excellent match. This was certainly good. This was a big highlight of night 1 for sure. So yeah, Jacob Fatu, LA Knight, certainly a huge standout on this one. Let's see, Gino in the chat says LA Knight needs to have a mic in his hand every night. Absolutely. Yeah, I agree with that. All right. So number 3, we get to the top 3. Now, when we get to these top 3, these are the 3 matches that I thought are gonna go down as all-time greats in WrestleMania history, because man, these 3 matches absolutely made this WrestleMania certainly push more towards the good part than I think the bad part, which is, yeah, these 3 matches right here, and even those other 2 matches, is why I can't in good conscience say that this was the worst WrestleMania as some fans are saying out there. So number 3, Dominic Mysterio versus Braun Breaker versus Finn Balor versus Penta. These 4 guys went out there, did their thing. Finn Balor showing why he's so awesome as always. Braun Breaker looking like an absolute beast. Dominic Mysterio showing how far he's come, and Penta showing why he deserves, why he has earned to be on the big stage of WrestleMania. These 4 guys just had back and forth action, lightning fast, all through it. Something's going on each match. Who's getting the upper hand? This was just fantastic. The audience themselves sounded even more up for this one. This is just fantastic. Once again, it was on night 2 and everything's like that, so it's funny how a lot of these matches are coming towards like night 2, which I did think was the better night. This was fantastic, back and forth, and of course the big moment of Dominic Mysterio getting the win, and Braun Breaker not having to take the pinfall and everything, or even Penta as well. I thought was no, actually I think Penta, was it Penta? I forget who took the fall. I don't have my notes with me and everything. I know Braun didn't have to take the fall though. This was fantastic, seeing Dominic Mysterio get that big victory, and seeing him, which most likely was ad-lib, when he heard the audience cheering for him, running back on down and getting there. Gino says both Lucha Bros taking L's at Mania. Take that, AEW, also Cody and Punk. Oh wow, yeah, a lot of the former AEW stars did take the loss in here. So yeah, but basically Penta taking the loss here. So he did take the loss in this match, but I don't think it hurts him at all though. But yeah, just seeing him come back, to hear the audience cheering for him like that, like I said, is a huge testament to how far Dominic Mysterio has come, and that was just a fantastic moment. Going to be a huge career defining moment for him and his father, now sharing the Intercontinental title wins at WrestleMania. So I thought this was fantastic. This is an awesome fatal 4-way, and Dominic Mysterio definitely on the cups now, I think, of becoming a great babyface. It's cool to see that fans have earned his respect. Dominic Mysterio, truly, he's not basically, oh, he's Rey Mysterio's son. It's like, oh wow, Dominic Mysterio is a great performer, and you know what, he just so happens to be the son of Rey Mysterio, or if you still believe WWE Lord Eddie Guerrero. We all remember that. But honestly, this is a fantastic moment. I'm so happy for Dominic Mysterio. I've been pulling for him since he showed up at SummerSlam facing Seth Rollins, and I'm just glad to see how he has developed over the years and just become a much more overall well-rounded performer for sure. Gino in the chat says both of his dads have won the IC title. Great point. All right, and now we get to the final 2. Man, when I tell you, for the days that I was thinking about ranking, I went back and forth so much. This was so hard to not put as my number 1, because the next 2 matches, you honestly, if you feel this is the number 1 match, you get no argument out of me, because man, holy crap, was this so hard to not put it number 1. But I'll explain why I made this number 2 shortly. But yeah, coming in at number 2, Io Sky versus Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley. These 3 ladies went out there and did their thing. Tremendous triple threat match. You know, Io and Bianca, I remember I was there live at SummerSlam in 2023, put on an absolute banger with Charlotte Flair. So I mean, the chemistry with these 3 women are unmatched. She's had such amazing matches, Io that is, with Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. So you put this in there, it was awesome. We even got a little bit of one-on-one action between Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair, which no doubt is going to be a great tease for the future. Hopefully these 2 get their WrestleMania one-on-one match down the line. I think they can even main event WrestleMania. Their star power, I think, certainly has earned them that. But yeah, this was tremendous back and forth action, very fast paced. There was no dull moments at all. Great sequences. Like, these three women just went in here and they were just sinking, gelling, just, man, the cleanness of their transitions, just amazing. The power on display. Io Sky doing all the backflips and everything, and coming showing, you know, why she is the genius of the sky. And then Rhea and Bianca, just like in that screenshot, the way they utilized their power. And there was just so many spots where you didn't know who was going to get the upper hand. Is Rhea winning here? Is Bianca winning here? Is Io winning here? And in the end, Io ends up picking up the victory with the moon, what was it, the over the moonsault or something like that, onto Bianca Belair, pinning her 1, 2, 3. Huge moment, for huge star defining moment, I should say, for Io Sky, because she's already a star, but this really defined her, that she deserves to be, that she has earned to be there at the top with Rhea and Bianca. Just fantastic, like showing why they are three of the best, and that is what this match did here. And even as someone who's a Bianca Belair fan, like I said, I think that they should have gone with Bianca Belair winning. There was a lot more mileage that you could get out when it came to doing the streak, especially with New Orleans. And I think that would have been awesome. Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair with the streak on the line, and playing up on how Asuka and The Undertaker lost their streaks, but unfortunately it's not meant to be. But Bianca Belair still, in my book, I think, and I think a lot of other people's books, she has earned the title Miss WrestleMania, because when you look at what the work that she has done throughout WrestleMania 39, we're going back to WrestleMania 37, and the matches she's had with Mercedes at the time known as Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, Asuka, now Io and Rhea Ripley, and even teaming up with Jade and Jade and Naomi going against Damage Control last year. I mean, she has really taken on the who's of who in terms of today's division and stuff, women's division at WrestleMania, and she had a classics with Bayley, not at WrestleMania, but nonetheless, I can't say enough great things about this match. The only thing, and it's not even a knock at this match, our number one entrant, my number one entrant on this list, I felt just had one thing above it, and that was the drama of the storytelling. Not that there wasn't drama in this, especially when Bianca Belair was letting everything out on Rhea Ripley and everything, like, you know, you're not better than me, with all the frustration she had to go through and the fans booing her. It definitely had its story there, but I think the drama of our next one took it up just a little step higher. But yeah, this was fantastic. One of the greatest WrestleMania opening matches in history, and I've seen every WrestleMania. It's going to go down as, I think, one of the greatest women's matches in WrestleMania history, and just plain and simple, one of the best matches, triple threat matches in WrestleMania history. I think it deserves to be on an all-timer list. If you were to take like the best WrestleMania matches, I think this deserves to be on the list. This is earned to be on the list. These three women went out there, laid it all on the line, and certainly to me, I think was the second best match in terms of just pure action. I think the best match in terms of just pure action at this WrestleMania. And now we have reached the number one spot, which we are going to acknowledge for sure, no pun intended, or yes, obviously, yes, pun intended. Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. It is great to see CM Punk finally main event WrestleMania as a longtime CM Punk fan. But you put all three of these guys in the ring, magic happens. More or less what the women did in the opening match the following night. Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, CM Punk went out there and told a tremendous story. Absolutely put on a huge match. We got Notorious Heels Podcast. What's up, man? Great to see you here. Match of WrestleMania weekend for sure. Thanks for joining. Man, fantastic. Three of the best storytellers, three of the all-time greats, three masters of their crafts going in there. And this match had everything from brawling the crowd, that amazing jump leaping frog leap that Roman Reigns did to both of them, the storytelling, how they all kept going back, just very much like in the women's triple threat match. Amazing near falls. You got that out of here. This is tremendous. Just can't say enough great things, but the drama of the storytelling, like I said, it's funny, both the triple threat matches for this card, they certainly had what I would say, they had convoluted ways of getting there. Like, I would have been fine with singles matches for them had they done like Io Sky and Bianca Belair, or Io Sky versus Rhea, and then have maybe Bianca be in the triple threat match to keep her streak going intact, and you can have Io beat Rhea there, and then just like this, I would have been okay with Seth versus Roman or CM Punk versus Roman to be in the main event, but they put them together in the triple threat match, and those three ladies and these three guys, they absolutely stole the show. And getting back to this match here, man, Paul Heyman's performance, he was tremendous as well, getting in there, and we knew it was coming, him going ahead, doing the low blow to CM Punk, getting angry because he turned against his tribal chief, and then Roman's like, I got this, and then he's telling like, go ahead, hit Seth, and you knew like, oh, Roman, this didn't end well for you last year. And as he's about to hit Seth in the back, boom, the low blow to Roman Reigns. You know why wrestlers don't wear cups, knowing things like this can happen, especially with all the animosity in this match. I don't know why, but it's one of those funny story tropes and everything. But yeah, you get to hear where CM Punk and Roman Reigns have both been portrayed by both been portrayed by Paul Heyman, and Seth Rollins picking up the win, 1, 2, 3, which I have to say, looking at where it's going, Braun Breaker with this new Dangerous Alliance, modern day Dangerous Alliance, Braun Breaker, Seth Rollins, and hopefully maybe Becky Lynch being added to the mix. I thought this was fantastic, especially as it's going to help build toward the future. It doesn't do much for, I guess, for for Roman Reigns versus CM Punk, because now it's kind of like they're going to be allies almost, as they have a common cause, but hopefully we do get that eventual one-on-one match with Roman Reigns and CM Punk. But yeah, this triple threat match was awesome. It was like a master class at storytelling, and that's what these three guys did. They went out there and told a great story, great drama. Like I said, if this is your number 2 on the list and you want to pick the women at number 1, no argument out of me. It could have really gone either way, but for me, that extra story drama, that extra drama that they added to the storytelling part of this match made it, to me, the number 1 match of WrestleMania Night 1 and the number 1 match of the entire WrestleMania 41 weekend. And I also wanted to mention, because I did mention in my review, I thought the set for WrestleMania this year looked awesome. They had the fans integrated to it. The stage looked awesome with a theme-like hotel that you'll find in Las Vegas. So I thought that was really awesome. I was there at WrestleMania 33 with that amazing, greatest set I've ever seen for WrestleMania, and I'm glad I got to witness it in person. WrestleMania 39 set was awesome. I thought the WrestleMania 29 set was awesome too. So yeah, I definitely think this is up there with all-time great WrestleMania sets, and I love having the audience integrated into it. That was fun as well to see. And so yeah, we conclude my ranking of the WrestleMania 41 matches. Make sure to let me know in the comments what your ranking is as well. But that being said, we're gonna move on to the chat. Let's see here. Yeah, Notorious Heels podcast said match of the WrestleMania weekend for sure. Also, shout out to Notorious Heels podcast. Check out, they do fantastic work as well with their reviews and everything. So I wanted to give a shout out there. Definitely check out. And also Notorious Heels, check out Papa Gino 0017. He does some awesome wrestling content as well. So I'm glad we're here to support one another here in the pro wrestling community. That being said, Papa Gino says, great list, great video. Thank you. Hey, thank you, Gino, for the support. I thank you for coming out and everything. Like I said, this is my new YouTube channel, second YouTube channel, where I'm putting all my wrestling content. I'm going to be transitioning my older wrestling content from 2018 to 2024 slowly but surely throughout the year onto this new channel to give it more of a focus. But if you're a Dragon Ball fan and want to see my acting journey as well, still definitely head over to my main channel. Almost like 20 subscribers away from hitting 7,000 there, and hopefully this channel will start building up as well. That being said, that concludes this, and thank you all for coming out in the chat, and hope you enjoy this on demand. But if you want a more detailed analysis of what I thought about WrestleMania 41, the link will be right there on the screen to check out the review, and make sure to follow me on my social media as well. All links will be in the description, along with my affiliates in the description and pinned comment below. Thank you all for watching. Take care.